Happy New Year and welcome to the first of the 2008 editions of E-Mak's Rants. I am E-Mak Evan Makovsky. I know you guys have all been salivating like a Pavlovian dog waiting for this, but look at it this way. At least you're not one of Michael Vick's dogs, or you might not be alive to watch this. We'll get to Mr. Vick in a moment. LSU defeats Ohio State 38-24, wins the national championship. Right? They're the champs? No, wrong as far as I'm concerned. They're not the champs. There is no champion this year. It's vacated like a WWE title belt. What we learned for sure is that Ohio State, for the second straight year, had no business being in the national championship game. But LSU has a case, just like a lot of teams. They're 12-2, so they're amongst the teams in the conversation. How about West Virginia? 11-2 this year. They absolutely dismantled Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl. Or how about Missouri? 12-2. They beat two teams playing in BCS bowls, but they lost to Oklahoma twice. But as far as I'm concerned, they're right there as well. I'm not so sure they couldn't beat LSU. Or Georgia, they say they are champions. They ended their Sugar Bowl game in the first quarter against Hawaii, who was absolutely overmatched. Or USC, 11-2. They absolutely dismantled Illinois in the Rose Bowl. Illinois shouldn't have been in a BCS bowl, but they did lose to Stanford, so who knows, but maybe a lot of people think, and I do too, they're playing the best football out of anybody. And finally, Kansas. They only had one loss. They lost to Missouri, but they take down Virginia Tech in the Orange Bowl. Who knows, they wouldn't beat LSU. We don't know. This season of all seasons, which were upsets galore and bowl mismatches, LSU isn't the national champion. They're one of many. How about Roger Clemens in the softball interview with Mike Wallace, his buddy on 60 Minutes? And then the next day, this press conference he held where he set up a phone call with Brian McNamee, played it back to everyone at the press conference, and proved absolutely nothing to me. What did he prove? He plays this tape back, and in the conversation, McNamee says, "Roger, what can I do for you? Roger, you tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it." How come Roger Clemens didn't say, show up at the press conference and tell everybody the truth that I didn't do steroids? He kept making vague statements like the truth needs to come out. All they showed me was when McNamee was saying, "What do you want me to do, Roger?" He felt bad as his friend and was appealing to him because he told the feds the truth. So he was trying to make up for it. Roger Clemens in that press conference just indicted himself further. The Michael Vick saga gets funnier and funnier by the day. What's the latest thing to happen? Vick is now transferred to Leavenworth, a federal prison and drug rehabilitation center in Kansas. Why? Because he's addicted to smoking pot, apparently. If he completes this rehabilitation, he can reportedly, if a judge agrees, get a year knocked off his sentence. This is absolutely a joke as far as I'm concerned. Dogfighting, smoking pot, what? What do they have to do with each other? He's in jail for dogfighting, and he can get a year off his sentence? This is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. The Pats just completed a 16-0 regular season, so of course, what do we do right now? We compare them to the 72 Dolphins, the last team to go undefeated in the NFL. But let's take a look at the differences here. The Patriots played a 16-game regular season schedule, while the Dolphins only played 14 games. The Patriots beat 7 teams with winning records, while the Dolphins only beat 2. The Dolphins, though, went 3-0 in the playoffs and beat everybody they had to beat, so let's give them that. The Patriots only have one surefire Hall of Famer in Tom Brady, and Randy Moss, of course, a couple more years, and he should be right there with Brady. The Dolphins, they had 6 Hall of Fame players. Either way, though, it's a wash as far as I'm concerned. I have no idea who's better. I wasn't even born in 1972. I was born in 1976. So all this conversation is good for is the water cooler. There it was, another filling, delicious meal that's called E-Mak's Rants. I am E-Mak Evan Makovsky, and I'll see you next time.